Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session today. As you can see, I'm not alone. My name is Eliza. I'm a student recruitment officer here at Humber, but I'm also joined by Richard Kingston. Richard is the program coordinator for the Business Management Financial Services program, and he's here to talk to you more about the program and what it entails. Before we jump in, I'm going to take a look at the chat. Who do we have here today with us? I'm just going to make sure you give me a hello, everyone. Awesome. So welcome to everyone here today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. But before we do, please, if you really like the video today, give this video a big thumbs up and ensure that you are subscribed to the Humber YouTube channel so that you don't miss any videos just like this one. Hey, John and Anthony, I see you. Welcome, and I hope you get the most out of the session today. And please be sure that you're interacting in the chat. And if you have any questions for Richard, leave them in the chat and we will ask them live. Welcome, Richard. Thank you so much for joining us today. Oh, hi, Becca. I see you too. Awesome. So before we get started, why don't you introduce yourself to the folks who are watching? Tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay. I've been with Humber now as a program coordinator of this specific program for about 19 years. Prior to that, I was 25 years in the financial services industry with various banks and in various positions, administrative, credit, investment advisory. So I've got a background that's appropriate for this particular program, and so are the professors. All the professors in this program are subject matter experts, and they come from the industry.
Incredible. So again, folks, you're going to be taught by the very best and experts directly from the industry, which is amazing. But speaking of industry, can you tell us what is the Business Management Financial Services program? What does that entail?
It's 4 semesters, and it's designed to specifically launch you into a career in the financial services industry. By that, I mean banks, insurance companies, investment companies, financial planning firms are typically the type of firms that hire my students.
Okay, that's amazing. And we're going to dive more into that because I know you just touched on it a little bit, but how would you describe the financial services sector to somebody who had absolutely no idea what it's about?
You're dealing with the second most important thing in a person's life after their children, which is their money. And these people are scared to death. There are very few Canadians that have financial plans, and they're afraid that they're going to outlive their money. So your job is to tell them that that's not the case, and you're going to create a plan that will allow their money to outlive them.
Okay. And we will dig more into that as well later on. So thank you for explaining that to folks. And again, folks, if you have any questions, any follow-up questions for Richard, please feel free to leave them in the chat and we'll ask Richard live. So you already mentioned it's a diploma program, but how long do students expect to study in the program for?
Well, it's 2 years. I mean, it's 4 semesters. And we have also what's called a 2+2 program. If you successfully complete the program, which is 4 semesters, there's a pathway where you can go from my program to the Bachelor of Commerce Finance program and complete the final 4 semesters in that program, which again would enhance your credentials because you could eventually go for a CFA which is a chartered financial analyst.
Incredible. So just to get this straight, so you do 2 years in your program and then the final 2 years of the degree program. So students will have a diploma and a degree in
Correct.
4 years.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. That's incredible.
Or they can go right into industry after my program.
Oh, wow. Exactly. Right. And is there a waiting period that students would have to wait in between, or are their credits good for a certain amount of time from your program to the next
that
one?
I don't know.
I think it's 5. I'm pretty sure it's 5 years, folks. So if they graduate from your program, they can go to work and they have up to 5 years to pursue the next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the next step. Yeah.
So they could complete the final 2 years then of the commerce as long as they do it within 5 years.
Exactly. Their credits are good.
It's
for 5 years.
fairly that aspect of it is fairly new.
All right. So that's incredible. Hi, Koso. I see you as well. Welcome. Thanks for coming today. If you have any questions for Richard, please leave them in the chat. Okay. So next question, and this is a big one, and that is, what sets your program apart?
Okay, the most significant difference between my program and many others is that we endeavor to bring the jobs to the students here, as opposed to you having to go out there and knock on doors. The way we do that is that there is a course in the final semester. It's called placement. And we actually bring in recruiters from industry, not in a job fair. This is one-on-one where we bring in the 5 major banks, 3 major insurance companies, some financial planning firms, but 1 firm per class. So there's 14 classes in a semester, 13 of them. You would have TD Bank in one, Royal Bank in another, Sun Life in another, and they interview you. Now, before COVID, it was all live, like in person. During and after COVID, it's online, but it's live online. You're on MS Teams, and the professor that handles that would put the individual student in a separate room, a virtual room, with the recruiter, and the recruiter would privately ask the student a number of questions and determine whether or not they wanted to carry it on any further. And they go through that iteration until every student has been interviewed.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So you're telling me that, oh, 1 second, I'm hearing an echo, but you're telling me that
your phone.
your program, the employers are being brought to the students.
Correct.
So the students do not have to then pursue, like they don't have to go out and find the employers. You bring them to them and it's integrated in their curriculum.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. That definitely, if that is not a unique feature to this program.
And I've been doing that for 19 years.
Wow.
And the same employers come back year after year. Reason being that when they hire my students, the students excel because they have all the skills they need, they have all the information they need, and they excel. And the banks, insurance companies, they realize that. So they keep coming back year after year.
To hire more students.
Correct. Because the banks always hire. It doesn't matter what the economy is doing. Banks hire from within for higher up positions, but they need to fill in the lower positions every single year. So there are always jobs available, even in a poor economy.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's amazing, to say the least. Okay. So Richard, next question. So this is an AISA. We're going to get to the admission requirements for sure. We're going to share that. as well. And John is going to post the program link in the chat for you. So just one moment for that. But next question here. So we have that posted in the chat for you, so you can visit that and check out the admission requirements on the website. So this is a question, Richard, that comes up all the time. Students want to know, what is my schedule going to look like? This program is a block-based program. So what would a typical schedule look like for your students?
Okay, well, schedules change every semester. But essentially what it is your classes could start as early as 8 o'clock in the morning, and they would conclude as late as 6 o'clock at night. This is a day program, in-person program. So you might have 2 courses in one day and no courses in another day. And then there's 6 courses per semester. And so, do the math. It would be Monday to Friday type of thing.
Okay. And is there opportunities for students to take part-time studies in your program?
Not at the moment, no. It's a full-time. What we're trying to do here is launch students into the industry as soon as possible.
Oh, okay.
So if you drag it
You don't
out,
want to drag it out,
you
yeah.
could, but it's not advisable.
Okay, understood. So we touched on schedule. What kind of courses can students expect to see within your program?
Okay, well, all of the courses are designed to give you specific knowledge that you need not only in day one, but also throughout your career. So there's a consumer credit course, there's insurance courses, there are investment courses, and these all lead to specific licenses and certifications that you need in order to be successful. The institutions want you to have these designations, and our program leads to those.
Awesome. That's amazing.
So, like, for instance, that would include the Canadian Securities License,
Right.
insurance license, your Chartered Financial Planner designation, extremely important. So it leads to those. And once you pass the exams, that's fine. That's what the institution is looking for. Are you capable of passing those exams from the licensing bodies?
Okay.
And once they know you can, then they will probably proceed to hire you.
Okay. And the amazing thing, I heard you say so many different areas within financial services that a student can pursue. So those designations is not only, centered in one particular area.
No, and that's the advantage from a career standpoint in going into the financial services industry. It's never boring. If you spend some time, like when I started in branch administration, and I enjoyed that. But after a couple of years, I thought, well, I want something different. So I went into consumer credit, then commercial, and finally, and then from there I went to corporate credit. And that was fun for a while. And eventually I wanted to deal on a higher level. So I went into investment advisory. That's where I got my designations, Canadian Securities License, Options License, so I could trade in the securities they need to activate a valid financial plan.
Wow.
So it was never boring.
Wow. That does
Plus
sound amazing.
Plus it's well paying.
Yeah.
Not the initial salary. I'm always asked this.
Yes.
The initial salary is irrelevant as far as I'm concerned. Everybody wants to know how much. Who cares? It's when you get promoted from there where the salaries exceed other industries. That's what's important.
Okay. It's so you got to get your foot in the door, folks, and then, climb, right? As, Ayiza, I'm sorry if I pronounced that correctly, but Ayiza has a question for you. And Ayiza asked, what if we have international banking experience?
You're hired.
You heard that?
A lot of people think, well, it's from a different country, and therefore it's a different type of bank. No, it isn't. Banking is the same all over the world, even in the Middle East. There are differences, but essentially you are handling and responsible for people's wealth, and that's a huge responsibility, but it's an enjoyable one.
Wow. And Ayiza had a follow-up question, and they asked, what if we get a job during the course or the program? How will we continue it? So I think that's kind of surrounding scheduling again.
Yeah. So banks, we'll talk about banks for a minute, although it pertains to all of them. They need to, they're open longer hours. So what they need is people to fill in, like during the evenings and on weekends. That's where you guys come in, because you do have the training and knowledge to do that, and you can fit it in your studies. You can do the studies during the day and work in the evening. Now that's a heavy workload.
It is.
But if you've got the stamina, once you've got that experience, then you can either join the institution that you're currently working for, or you can get a brand new job at another institution.
Right.
So let's say you start out in the bank, but you are attracted to insurance or financial planning firm. Your bank experience is very valid for any of those firms.
Incredible. And Ayiza, if you have any follow-up questions for Richard, please feel free to put them in the chat and I will ask them for you. But thank you for that, Richard. And speaking of jobs, so before we even get into that, let's talk about what kind of student would pursue business management, financial services. What is an ideal student for your program?
Somebody who cares about people, somebody who wants to help people with a part of their life that scares them to death, and that is their money, and whether or not they're going to outlive their money. That's where you guys come in. You do financial plans for somebody, and I'm telling you, I spent 25 years doing this, and the look on a client's face when they realize that they're not going to outlive their money if they follow the procedures in the plan is heartwarming, frankly.
Yeah.
It's you've really contributed. It's not like selling shoes, not that there's anything wrong with selling shoes, but you're actually selling comfort, relief to these people in the second most important thing in their life, and that's their money after their children.
Sounds very fulfilling, right? So that's incredible. So having said that, and Ayiza did touch on this a little bit, and so did you, but are there any specific courses that a student has to take to prepare, or do they need experience before entering into your program?
No to both parts of that question. Okay. We teach everything you need to know in the program to start on day one and be successful on day one and continue on through a good career. Okay, again, what was the second part of the question?
It's so are there any courses that they need? So any prerequisites
no,
beforehand or experience?
No to prerequisites, but if you have experience, and it doesn't have to be financial services, it doesn't have to be a bank. Let's say you're selling shoes, okay? When you're dealing with the public, that's a transferable skill. And like customer service or sales, that is a transferable skills. And the bank doesn't necessarily need that, but they will value that. And you could start, for instance, in a higher position than somebody that doesn't have that experience.
Incredible. Okay. So transferable skills, folks, very important, but not necessary to
That's
gain
right.
entry into the program.
Yep.
Okay.
If the recruiters like you, they'll fill in the blanks. Frankly, because they come to Humber and they want the best, and they keep coming back because we deliver the best.
Okay. Okay. You heard it here, folks. There's no shortage of recruiters and employers when you enter and within the program and once you graduate. So, Anthony, I see your question here. So Anthony asks, hi, Anthony, can you start a business from this program as well?
Yes, you can. Let me explain how. Let's say you get your Chartered Financial Planner designation. There are two things, but first of all, what you'd want to do is go into the financial planning arm of a bank or an insurance company or an investment company. You get your experience there, and why that's entrepreneurial is that you have a book of clients. You're dealing with clients, you're servicing them, you're putting together financial plans for them, but it's your book of clients. And I've had students do this. They go out and they after a number of years, the entrepreneurial students will start their own financial planning firm. We have a couple of them in Oakville, where I live. So this is a very entrepreneurial industry. Whether you're inside the bank or bank or insurance company, or you're outside, doesn't matter. It's what the recruiters want is an entrepreneurial spirit.
So multifaceted. There's so many different opportunities here. So that's really, and thank you, Anthony, for your question. If you have any more, please feel free to put them in the chat. But since we're on the, entrepreneurial kind of theme, let's talk about jobs. What kind of careers can a student pursue from this program onwards?
Okay, well, they could go into branch management, for instance. They can become investment advisors, as I was, with your own book of clients, very entrepreneurial. You can go into credit and help people with mortgages and loans and that sort of thing. So it's, there's a wide variety of what you can do and how you can behave in a way that you're really running your own shop.
Wow. So again, a lot of opportunity, which seems to be the common theme here. Now, so there is a designation that students can pursue after they graduate. So can you share more information about the Chartered Financial Planning license?
Okay, well, there are several licenses that the banks and insurance companies want you to have to be successful. One is the Canadian Securities License. Okay, our program teaches that, and you move right from there into writing the exams, and you get hired. If you want the insurance end, LLQP, you write that. You get your insurance license, and you pursue that. The Chartered Financial Planner designation, you must attend an authorized education institution. We are that for the Chartered Financial Planner designation, which is issued by the Canadian Institute of Financial Planning. There's one exam you have to write of theirs. You have to successfully complete our program. Then you write the exam, 4-hour exam, And then there's always an intern with any of these licenses. There's an internship type of thing where you parallel an existing employee, and so you get your feet wet in the particular discipline.
Okay.
And then you're good to go. You get to put after your name, which is on my business cards, Chartered Financial Planner.
Wow. Okay, so you get to have that after your name there. All right. Well, all that hard work going into that. So that's really incredible. So many, and again, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but I'm hearing that there's so many different avenues. You don't need to just stay in one area. There's so many different branches that you can pursue. It's so multifaceted after you graduate from the program.
Well, that's why I was in it for 25 years.
Right.
That it was not boring.
Exactly.
But the reason I left and came to Humber was I thought this was an incredible opportunity to share
Pay it forward.
my knowledge and stories, and I've got a ton of them, that that enhances a student's understanding of the industry and helps them get hired.
Wow. Okay.
And that's fulfilling, believe me.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Richard. So we're going to shift gears a little bit and we're going to talk admission requirements. But before we do that, is there anything that I may have missed that you want to share with the folks who are watching about your program?
Well, just that it's not theoretical. Okay, it's not like when you go to university, and there's nothing wrong with universities. I have an MBA, but the knowledge that we teach you and the skills that we teach you are, put you right out into the industry. So there's no fluff in this program. It's less theoretical and more practical for somebody who's looking to. Maybe they're a little tired of school and they want to get out working financially for financial reasons or other reasons. That's what our program does.
Gets them out and gets them working. Okay, awesome. Okay, so folks, I can't see how you wouldn't want to apply after all of this, because there's so many, different opportunities for you. This is a great program for you to pursue. I'm just going to go ahead and share the admission requirements now. So to gain admissions into the program, you do have to have your Ontario Secondary School Diploma or equivalent, as well as grade 12 English, either at the college or university level, grade 12 math. And again, if you visit the link that was posted in the chat, you can take a look at the math there. And then 2 grade 11 or grade 12 college mixed or university courses, in addition to the English and the math. Now, if you do not have those, if you did not complete high school, say for example, or you don't have those specific courses and you did not complete high school, you can always apply as a mature student. And there's further information about that as well on the website. If you click on admission requirements and then mature student status, you can learn more about how you can apply to the program using that route. We also, that's going to be posted in the chat, is the admissions roadmap. This is an excellent feature for you. You'll just click on it and we'll take you from, what you're doing right now is researching programs right up until the first day of classes, and we'll take you step by step. So all applications are submitted through ontariocolleges.ca. And again, if you visit that admissions roadmap, it will take you along the process. Now, an admissions roadmap was just posted. Great. Now, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, which is finances. Now, we never want finances to be a barrier for you to pursue your post-secondary education. So also, if you visit the link that, Aiza did mention that they have a master's degree. So would that help them within your program? Aiza.
Aiza?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who have the international business experience or international banking, experience. Yeah.
You're hired. Okay. What our program would add to that is the Canadian perspective. Like how do specifically Canadian banks operate? It's not going to be a lot different, but it's good. And the licenses that you need, those are specific to Canada. So if you want to work in Canada, you need those. But you've got a tremendous background, for that.
Exactly. And you spoiler alert, you can connect with Richard if you have any specific questions, say after today and after we're offline. You can always connect with Richard if you have any program specific questions or career outcome questions or questions about how your experience can contribute to your success in the program.
Do they need to know my email address?
Yes. So that's going to be posted in the chat. Yeah.
Okay. It says richard.kingston at humber.ca.
Yeah. Awesome.
And anybody who does email me will get a detailed curriculum map. What I mean by that is not only does it show each of the courses per semester, but it shows each of the subjects within each course. So you get an idea, a fuller idea of what the program actually offers.
Incredible. And thank you for offering that. So again, folks, Richard's email is posted in the chat. It's richard.kingston@humber.ca. So feel free to reach out for the curriculum map, or if you have any program specific questions, Richard is open to answering them for you. So just going back to funding. So if you visit this link, that's going to be posted in the chat. It's called our Financial Services Hub, and it's basically going through all things funding. So if you're looking into scholarships, please apply for the scholarships. It's free money, and they're not all academic based. So take a look into those. Bursaries, the Ontario Student Assistance Program, otherwise known as OSAP. There's so many different ways for you to fund your post-secondary education. So don't let that be a barrier for you to pursue that. So you can take a look at that. That is posted down in the chat. So when is the program open? When are the start dates for the Business Management Financial Services program?
Okay, we have one cohort that starts in September.
Okay, awesome.
And again, it runs, 4 straight semesters.
Okay. So one every September.
Yes.
Okay. So folks, if you're going to apply for this September coming up, do so as soon as possible. Again, follow that admissions roadmap, and say if you're looking to apply for next September, we always encourage everyone to apply before February 1st, because that gets your application equally considered with all the other applicants to the program. But not to worry if you apply after February 1st, it's okay. It's just on a first come, first served basis until the program is full. Okay. So any other final words from you to the folks who are watching, Richard?
Well, I've been in Humber for 19 years, and there's a reason for that. And that is that I actually designed this program, and I run it. It's just fulfilling. I find I'm excited to come to work every day, and so are my professors. They love working here. Humber College/Polytechnic is the largest polytechnic in Canada. And there's a reason for that. And that's because we're the best.
That's
and
right.
we endeavor to provide students with everything they need in order to be successful in their careers. That's it in a nutshell.
Mic drop. Okay. That's incredible. So again, folks, I want to thank you. I don't see any other questions in the chat. So with that, we'll wrap it up. And Richard, I want to thank you so much for joining us today and sharing this wealth of knowledge and information on how you can have a future from the Business Management Financial Services program. If you have any questions regarding admission requirements, you want to discuss it further, anything pre-enrollment into the program, you can always contact student.recruitment@humber.ca and connect with one of the recruitment officers, and we'll be more than happy to help you along at that journey. So once again, thanks so much, Richard, for
My
joining us
pleasure.
today. This was amazing. And bye, everyone.